Welcome back to Jersey Matters. I'm Larry Menti. For a lot of people in New Jersey, the biggest barrier to getting work is a high school diploma, and that's why they have the Highschool Equivalency Test. However, in 2014 in New Jersey, they made that test more expensive and more difficult. With me today is a person that would like to change that. Elaine Zundl is the Research Director at the Center for Women and Work at Rutgers University. Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you.
What is the problem with making, I understand making it a little bit more expensive, we can deal with that in a second, but what's the problem with making a test a little more difficult?
Well, we understand that they wanted to make the test align with the Common Core standards, but we think the passing score should be on par with what most other states have.
What's the passing score now?
It's 150, which is only passing in Tennessee and New Jersey, and every other state it's 145.
And what is the cost of taking it? I didn't realize there was even a cost.
Yeah, it's around $120 now, and it used to be only about $50. So that's a significant increase for low-wage people who are the ones that are most likely to have to take this exam.
Before we get to what we can do and what effect it had in 2014, we should go back and just talk about how important a high school equivalency test is for someone to pass that.
Well, this is the basic credential you need for most jobs. Even jobs that you would think don't require a lot of book knowledge, it requires a GED or a high school equivalency. This is the basic credential for going on to college, for admission to a lot of trade programs, and it also is really important for people who maybe are thinking about going into the military.
So someone may not have a job, need to get a job, and then they're told, okay, the barrier to get a job so that you can feed yourself or your family and get housing is you have to pay $120 to pass a test that you may not pass.
That's correct.
That's the way it's set up right now. What happened in 2014? How many people took the test before 2014? How many people took the test after they made it more expensive and more difficult?
So it was around 17,000 people took the test in 2013. And then when we looked again in 2015, it was only about 9,000 people.
So what would you like to see happen?
We think that it's possible that the computerized nature of the test might be a barrier for some people. So we'd like to see...
Did that change too?
Yeah, it went from a paper and pencil test prior to 2014 to being a computer-administered test, just like almost every other test that you can think of, the SAT, et cetera.
Well, I'll get to your answer in a second, but who made those changes?
Well, these were national changes. Most other states made similar adjustments.
And why? It seems like they purposely made it more difficult. They put more hurdles in instead of making it easier for people.
I mean, I think everyone thought that moving to a computerized service would be more efficient and maybe more cost-effective, but I'm really not sure what was involved in making all those decisions.
So there's companies that make money off of this.
Yeah, these are for-profit services now, whereas in the past it was a nonprofit. The GED
So that's the big change. So when you say it makes it easier for the scoring, it makes it easier for the companies that run the test. When you say it makes anything that's easier is easier for them. Not necessarily the people that are taking the test.
I mean, I'm not really trying to put the testing services on the spot.
You're smiling a lot. What I'm saying is...
But I would really like to see just more transparency. I like to see more data that I can analyze and try to figure out who is being affected by these changes and who it's benefiting and who is it making it more difficult
Right,
for.
so you're in academia and you want to study the cause and effect
Yeah.
of any changes. And I'm sorry I interrupted you.
Yeah,
What
okay.
would you like to see happen?
Well, we would like to see some scholarships for lower wage people who are trying to take the exam. $120 is really, really expensive for most families. We'd also like to see some more testing centers in areas like Cumberland County and Atlantic County. The poverty rates in those counties are high, and so they probably need more access to the test. And we'd also like to see them lower the score from 150 passing rate to 145, because like I mentioned earlier, New Jersey and Tennessee are the only states that require that score.
Can you, I know if somebody wants to go to college, they can get a student loan. Right. Can you get some kind of loan for $120? I mean, if that is the barrier to getting a job, and then you get a job, you could easily then pay back the $120 with interest. Let's say it's $150. Is that possible for people right now?
There are some places in the state, some vocational programs that subsidize the cost of the GED in order to create a pathway into their program, but it's rare.
So you'd like to see the state get involved?
Yeah.
And so the state would then subsidize this. You'd like to see taxpayers' money go to that?
Well, I'd like to see us support workers and people who are trying to better themselves and support themselves and their families. So yeah.
Have you talked to the governor about this? Have anybody reached out to him?
No, we haven't.
How about any legislators?
That's why I'm here today. I really want to draw attention to this and see some changes made.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much,
Larry. Told me about
Larry.
something I didn't know about. I appreciate it. Elaine Zundl is the research director at the Center for Women and Work at Rutgers University. Still to come, it's one of the most popular record stores in the whole world, and it's right here in New Jersey. We'll take you to this vinyl paradise next.